The atmosphere in the meeting room is heavy. Across the table, the boss's face is tense, his voice sharp. "This presentation is unacceptable," he says. The words hang in the air as if time has slowed down. Each syllable hits your ears, echoing in your mind. Your heart races, you feel pressure in your chest, your palms sweat. That first wave rising inside you, is it anger, shame, or both? You want to say something, but the words won't come out, or they come out too fast and then you regret it. The other faces around the table are looking at you, some curious, some uncomfortable, some secretly pleased. That moment is a test for you, and without realizing it, you're grading yourself. Then the meeting ends, you get up from the table, walk down the hallway, but you feel like something inside you has broken. Did that momentary reaction define you, or are you bigger than that reaction? That question keeps running through your mind all day. When you get home in the evening, you're still thinking about that moment, what else you could have said, how you could have behaved, why you reacted that way, and you realize this isn't just today's issue. It's a cycle you experience every week, maybe every day. Today, you will get the knowledge you need to break this cycle, because unless you learn to control your mind, no one will take you seriously. And this isn't just a matter of meetings. It's a battle that applies to every area of life. To win this battle, you need to learn the mental discipline of an ancient warrior. Chapter 1. Why can't we do this? Why is it so hard to manage emotional reactions at work? Why do you say, "I'll stay calm this time, every time," but then make the same mistake again? The reason is very deep and evolutionary. Your brain was designed for a very different world thousands of years ago. In that world, threats were physical, predatory animals, enemy tribes, hunger, cold. When danger was perceived, the brain's limbic system kicked in and offered two options, fight or flight. This system allowed our ancestors to survive. But today's world is very different. Today's threats are psychological, not physical. Your boss's criticism is not a predator attack, but your brain perceives it that way. A colleague's sarcastic remark is not an attack by an enemy tribe, but the limbic system sounds the same alarm. Being ignored in a meeting, having credit stolen, receiving an unfair grade in a performance review, these are all red lights flashing on the brain's threat radar, and you react just as your ancestors did. You either attack or flee. Attack mode looks like this: raised voice, defensive language, counterattack, blame, aggressive body language. Escape mode looks like this: silence, withdrawal, avoiding eye contact, locking yourself in your office after the meeting. Both make you look weak. Anger is a sign of loss of control. Silence can sometimes be powerful, but more often it's a mask for helplessness. How do you feel after these reactions? Regret. You think to yourself, "I wish I had said this. I wish I had acted that way." But when the next crisis hits, the same cycle starts again. Because you haven't solved the problem, you've just postponed it. This cycle sabotages your career path, causing you to miss out on opportunities for advancement. It damages your relationships, and your colleagues start to see you as a difficult person. And worst of all, it destroys your inner peace. You come home tired every evening, not just physically, but mentally exhausted, because emotional reactions consume enormous energy. To break this cycle, you need to understand not modern psychology, but the mental discipline of an ancient warrior. Chapter 2. Silence before the duel, 17th century Japan. The country is steeped in samurai, codes of honor, and sword duels. The most famous name of this era is Miyamoto Musashi, an legendary warrior who emerged undefeated from 60 duels. But Musashi's power lies not only in his sword, but in his mind. One day, Musashi stops in a small town. Walking through the market, a young, arrogant samurai notices him. This young man is chasing fame and wants to become famous by defeating Musashi. But asking for a duel would be outright disrespectful, so he chooses another path. In the middle of the crowd, he starts speaking loudly. "Do you see old Musashi? He can't hold his sword anymore. His hands are shaking." The crowd turns to look, some laughing. Musashi stands still, not moving. There is not the slightest change in his face. His breathing is steady, his shoulders relaxed, his gaze calm. The young samurai becomes even more angry because he is not getting the reaction he wants. He raises his voice even more. "Can't you hear me? Or are you both deaf and cowardly?" The crowd falls silent, everyone wondering what Musashi will do. And Musashi finally speaks. His voice is low, calm, and extremely clear. "Tomorrow at dawn by the riverbank." Then he turns and walks away, not even looking back. The young man looks at the crowd, feeling victorious. "Did you see? He accepted," he says. But an old samurai in the crowd shakes his head, thinking to himself, "This young man has already lost." The next day at dawn, the young samurai arrives at the riverbank. He arrived hours ago, prepared, warmed up. He draws his sword and lowers it, mentally motivating himself. But Musashi doesn't come. Time passes, the sun rises. 1 hour, 2 hours, 3 hours. The young man begins to get angry. Where is this old man? Did he get scared and run away? But he also has a suspicion. At the end of the 4th hour, Musashi appears. He walks slowly, holding not his normal sword, but one carved from wood. This angers the young man even more. He's mocking me, coming with a wooden sword. His mental balance is completely shattered. As Musashi approaches, the young man loses control and attacks. His moves are fast but erratic, lacking strategy. With a single move, Musashi strikes the wooden sword against the young man's temple. The duel is over. The young man lies on the ground, stunned. Musashi spares his life and turns to leave. He doesn't even look back. Because the duel he truly won didn't begin by the riverbank, but the day before, at the market. He won not by his reaction to being humiliated, but by his lack of reaction. Chapter 3. The Anatomy of an Unshakable Mind. The concept Musashi used is called Fudoshin in Japanese. Word for word translation, fu, no, do, movement, shin, mind. A mind that does not move. But this is not a frozen mind, it is an unshakable mind. Like a tree that does not break from its roots in a storm. Like a ship that does not capsize in the waves. This does not mean suppressing emotions. It does not mean not feeling anger, fear, or shame. These emotions are part of being human. Fudoshin means feeling these emotions, but not becoming their slave. Seeing them as a source of information, not as a command. Didn't Musashi feel anger when he was humiliated? Of course he did. Humiliation is the sharpest weapon aimed at the ego. But Musashi read that emotion as a signal. This person wants to upset my balance. If I react now, I'll be playing their game. And what did he do? He turned his emotion into a strategic decision. He didn't react prematurely, because a premature reaction is always a weak reaction. He who rushes loses. Waiting, enduring, seeing the right moment. These require strength, maturity. There is another concept, Heijoshin. Hei, calm, normal, jo, usual, shin, mind. A normal mind, a calm mind. This means being able to maintain the same mental balance in all circumstances, in war and in peace, when receiving praise and when receiving criticism. Whether you win or lose, a person with Heijoshin does not let the storm outside affect them inside, because they do not allow the storm to enter. Emotions come, but they do not take over the mind. This is not just a teaching for warriors, this is a lifesaver for you today, because the modern world constantly tests you. Every day you experience dozens of provocations, criticisms, injustices. If you react to each one, you will run out of energy. But if you act with Heijoshin, you will conserve energy. And energy is the most valuable resource in the modern world. Chapter 4. The Modern Battlefield. Now return to the present, to that meeting room. What happens physiologically when your boss delivers harsh criticism? Your heart rate jumps from 72 to 110 beats per minute. Your breathing becomes shallow. The cortisol hormone is pumped into your bloodstream. The amygdala, your brain's alarm center, sounds the red alert. The prefrontal cortex, your rational thinking region, partially shuts down. Your face flushes, your muscles tense, your hands clench into fists. All this happens in less than a second. And you're trying to make decisions in this state. That's why you make bad decisions. That's why you say things you later regret. Because in that moment, it's not you speaking. It's your primitive self in survival mode. Now imagine another scenario. You're in a team meeting discussing a project. Your idea is on the table, but a colleague presents it as their own. Everyone applauds. The boss congratulates them. You stay silent because you don't know what to say at that moment. The meeting ends and the credit is stolen. Later, you go to your colleague in the office and try to say, "That was my idea," but it's too late. That moment has passed. Or you have a performance review. Your boss has given you an unfair rating, not seeing your work. You either stay silent because you think arguing won't help, or you explode and say, "This is unfair. I'm not getting what I deserve at this company." Neither reaction moves you forward. They take you backward, because reaction is the name of losing control. You have a toxic colleague who constantly makes passive-aggressive comments, like, "Your presentations are always too long, you bore people," or, "I don't know if you can do this job, but give it a try." These little jabs eat away at your soul over time, and one day you explode, you retaliate. But that's exactly what they want, because when you lose control, they win. This is the modern battlefield. There are no swords, but there are words. There are no physical wounds, but there are psychological wounds, and how you react to these wounds determines your career, because people define you not by your skills, but by how you behave under pressure. The person who reacts aggressively, they get labeled uncontrolled, immature. The person who completely shuts down, they are seen as weak, passive, lacking leadership qualities. But the person who responds calmly, measuredly, and clearly, that person is respected, seen as reliable, defined as a leader. Fudoshin is not just a philosophy in the modern business world, it is a survival strategy. A strategy for advancement, a strategy for building respect. Chapter 5, 3 Steps to an Unshakable Mind. So how will you do this? It sounds good in theory, but how does it work in practice? Now I'm giving you a practical, concrete, tested roadmap. There are 3 steps, and each one is critical. Step 1, pause. This is the simplest but most powerful step. When provoked, when criticized, when you see injustice, don't react immediately. Just wait 3 seconds. Take a deep breath. Inhale through your nose for 4 seconds. Hold for 2 seconds. Exhale through your mouth for 6 seconds. This simple action sends a powerful signal to your brain. There is no danger. I am in control. Within 3 seconds, the amygdala begins to calm down, cortisol levels drop, and the prefrontal cortex kicks back in. You are now shifting from survival mode to thinking mode. These 3 seconds are the difference between reaction and response. Reaction is automatic, unconscious, and often harmful. Response is conscious, strategic, and constructive. This is what Musashi did in The Marketplace. He didn't react immediately. He paused, thought, then responded. Step 2, labeling. Identify and name the emotion inside you. This is anger. This is shame. This is disappointment. Labeling emotions is a scientifically proven technique called affect labeling. Neuroscientists at UCLA have shown in fMRI studies that when you define the emotion with words, amygdala activity decreases. So labeling weakens the emotion. Why? Because when you define the emotion, you distance yourself from it. You no longer say, "I am angry," but "I feel anger." This small linguistic difference creates a tremendous psychological effect. Anger is no longer you. It's just something you temporarily feel. This awareness alone gives you back half your power. Step 3, conscious response selection. Now you've paused, labeled the emotion, and cleared your mind. Now strategically decide what to say and how to act. Speak with intention, not anger. Saying, "I understand this point of view, but I disagree on this point and base my opinion on these facts," is 1,000 times more powerful than saying, "This is nonsense, you don't understand anything." Why? Because the former shows control, maturity, and confidence. Second, it shows loss of control and weakness. Or respond like this: "I need to look into this in more detail. I can give you clearer information tomorrow." This response buys time and shows professionalism. Sometimes the best response is not to speak at all. Just listen, take notes, nod your head. Silence is also a power if used strategically. These 3 steps seem simple, but they are not easy, because you need to change the response habits you have built up over the years, but you get stronger with each repetition. It's difficult at first, a little easier the second time, and by the 10th time, it becomes automatic. And at that point, Fudoshin becomes a part of you. Chapter 6, Zach's Story. Let me tell you about Zach, who works in the office of a large technology company in San Francisco. He is 32 years old, a talented project manager. He graduated from university with a good GPA and started his career strong, but there is a problem. He cannot manage his emotional reactions. When criticized in team meetings, he gets defensive and raises his voice. When he disagrees with his boss, he directly opposes him, choosing conflict over diplomacy. This situation hinders his career advancement. He has missed 2 promotion opportunities. When he missed the second opportunity, his boss told him, "Zach, you are technically very good, but your emotional maturity is not sufficient for leadership. People find it difficult to work with you." These words deeply affected Zach. He went home that evening and began to think, "Am I really someone who loses control?" The answer was clear, yes, and he realized he needed to change. A friend told him stories about Musashi and introduced him to the concept of Fudoshin. Zach was skeptical at first. What can these ancient warrior stories teach me? But being a curious person, he started researching. For a month, he practiced the 3 steps every day. Pause, label, choose a response. The first week was very difficult, and he reverted to his old ways several times. But in the second week, he began to notice a change. One day, a critical moment occurred during a team meeting. Zach had spent 3 weeks preparing a strategy for a project and came to the presentation. A senior manager sharply criticized Zach's presentation. "This data is insufficient. This approach is naive. This won't work." Everyone in the room fell silent and looked at Zach. That familiar wave of anger rose within Zach. His face flushes, his heart races. His old self would have responded, "But I worked on this for 3 weeks. You didn't even read the whole file. This criticism is unfair." And that reaction would have damaged his career even more. But Zach is different now. He feels the anger inside him in that moment, but he pauses. He takes a deep breath, waits 3 seconds. He thinks to himself, "This anger is temporary." Then he speaks calmly, "I understand. What data do you think is missing? And what approach do you recommend I prioritize?" At that moment, the energy in the meeting room shifts. The manager softens, not getting the defense he expected. He begins to make constructive suggestions. Add this customer data, analyze this market. The meeting turns into a constructive dialogue. When Zach returns to his office after the meeting, he still feels a slight anger inside, but he feels something else too: control. For the first time, he didn't react. He responded. For the first time, he stayed true to his strategy, not his emotions. This incident changes Zach's career trajectory after. 3 months later, his boss tells him, "Zach, I've seen a lot of maturity in you over the last few months. Your teamwork has improved significantly. We're considering you for a new position." 6 months later, Zach gets promoted. And his most important gain is this: he now has inner peace. He no longer comes home exhausted in the evenings because he doesn't waste energy on emotional conflicts throughout the day. He is in control, and this is the most valuable skill in the modern world. Chapter 7. Being a tree in the storm. Now let's go back to the beginning, to that meeting room. Your boss's harsh words, that wave of anger inside you. But now there's a different you. You're someone who understands Heijoshin. You allow yourself to feel emotions, but you don't let them control you. They don't control you. You control them. This difference is enormous. Because life isn't about being an emotionless robot. Being human means feeling. But being a mature human means consciously managing those feelings. You are no longer reactive. You are strategic. You act with Heijoshin, maintaining the same mental balance in every situation. You stay calm when your boss criticizes you. You smile when a colleague provokes you. You speak clearly and measuredly when injustice occurs. And people notice this. They listen when you speak in meetings because you are in control. They consult you in times of crisis because you don't panic. Your name comes up in promotion decisions because managers know this person can stay calm under pressure. You earn respect. You are seen as a leader because true power lies not in shouting, but in silence. True power lies not in retaliating, but in giving the right response at the right time. This is what Musashi taught. The one who wins the battle is not the one who makes the first move, but the one who controls the last move. It's not the fastest mover who wins, but the one who moves at the right time. You are now that person. Your emotional reactions don't define you, your responses to them do. And this applies not just at work, but in every area of life. In family relationships, friendships, romantic relationships, the same principle everywhere. An unshakable mind doesn't let external chaos determine internal peace. One day, you're arguing with your spouse at home, they get angry, they speak harshly. The old you would immediately respond, and the argument would escalate. The new you pauses, labels, and responds calmly. I'm sorry I upset you, I understand. Let's calm down and talk. And the argument turns into a dialogue. Or someone cuts you off in traffic, honks their horn. The old you would get angry and yell back. The new you takes a deep breath and thinks, this person might be having a bad day, I won't let it affect me. And your mental peace remains intact. Because your mind should be the sky, not the storm. The storm comes and goes, but the sky is always there. You are that sky. Chapter 8. Now it's your turn. Today I gave you a tool. Fudoshin, Heijoshin, and the 3-step method. Pause, label, choose your response. But these tools only work if you use them. Knowledge is not power. Our applied knowledge is power. Now I give you a small but effective challenge. Today or tomorrow, when someone angers you, criticizes you, provokes you, wait 3 seconds before responding. Just 3 seconds. Take a deep breath. Label the emotion internally. This is anger. This is temporary. Then consciously choose your response. Don't react automatically to another person's words or behavior. Choose for yourself what to say, what to do. This first step may seem small, but it's the beginning of a massive transformation. Because an unshakable mind isn't built in a day. It's built moment by moment. Every pause is a brick. Every labeling is a brick. Every conscious response is a brick. And over time, you build an immense structure. A year later, when you look back, you will see, I am a different person now. I can stay calm under pressure. I don't react to provocations. I am in control of my life. And this change affects not only you, but also your environment. People start treating you differently, showing you respect, trusting you, because you are now trustworthy. If this video sparked a change in you, lit a light, hit the like button. Not for me, but for the algorithm. Because if this content reaches more people will learn about Fudoshin, and the world will become a slightly calmer place. Share your experience in the comments. Maybe you've had a transformation like Zach. Maybe someone will be inspired by your story.